How we doing? It's Mailman Nick. Follow me on Instagram and Nick Venti. If you enjoy this content, please give me a thumbs up. Don't treat me like a 204B over here. I know it's kind of later than my normal streams, but I had stuff to do this morning. I had to clean the house and stuff. Um, but yeah, I knew every Sunday I try to do these live streams interact with you guys and answer your guys' questions. I'm gonna let a few more people get in here and start answering some questions. Today, I'm so happy I didn't work today because it was downpouring all day long. And plus, I was out late last night. Didn't get to bed till like 2 in the morning. I was exhausted, but woke up at 11 or 12. I never wake up that late. I usually have a set schedule where I don't stay up past like 10:30 at the latest. So I was out pretty late last night. I work tomorrow and then I'm off Tuesday, so I'll be able to work tomorrow and then sleep in again on Tuesday. What's going on? Rainy weekend. Yeah, it's been rainy all weekend. Yesterday wasn't that bad. It was pouring rain once last night it was pouring rain and it sucked driving home because on the way I was driving home, it was like 1 in the morning. I was driving home and there's a lot of like deer crossings and stuff and animals, so like I had to drive super careful because pouring down rain, like that scene in Jurassic Park. That's how it felt driving home in the morning. But yeah, I had to make sure I drove carefully. But I try to stay on a routine. I try to stay on a schedule, make sure I get at least 7 hours of sleep minimum, because when I don't get enough sleep, that affects my mood, that affects my energy levels and things like that. So I rarely do those like 2 a.m. nights, but yesterday I was like, I want to go out and do something. So but yeah, today was back to the routine. I work tomorrow, so back to the routine. Like I said, I don't stay up past 12:30. I try to make sure I get to bed because sleep is so important with your energy and how you feel and things like that. So I'm back at it, back to the grind tomorrow. What's going on? Minuteman Productions, what's up? What is up with getting clearance to work at other offices because of poaching? Because of poaching? What does that mean? Because when my hours are being cut, I was like, hey, could I go help out other offices? But I was getting like a few 8-hour days a week. Now it's just 1 8-hour day, so my hours aren't too bad. But I would just say, hey, what other offices need help? Because I could go over there as soon as my hold down's over. As soon as my hold down's over, go send me to Blue Island, Tri-City, like anywhere around here, because those offices are always hurting. Like they're always hurting. They're actually, some of those offices are smaller than my office, but since they only have like, let's say 14 routes, they got 3 or 4 people out. That's close to half their office down. So I just ask management and say, hey, can you make a few calls? I got an 8-hour day today. I'm willing to go help out. But overall, they want me under 56 hours. They try to keep me under 56. And unfortunately, if I go help out another office, then I'll hit close to 60, and that's what they don't want, unfortunately. Because I'll go out here and work over 60, 65, even 70 hours. I don't care. I want the money. But they're really been capping me out. Like I said in my last video, my supervisor had a list of all the carriers, and my last name was the only one highlighted because my hours get too high every week. Because I don't say no. I'm always helping people. I'm always going back out. I'm always helping people who are struggling or they need random parcels run. Like that's always me. I'm always out there. I never say no. I never say no. They have the whole time I've been working here, when they ask me, hey, go help out this carrier, I've never said no. Not that I really have an option, but I'll never say no because I'm all about that money and getting everybody back at a decent hour. Why is our union very under the radar about what they are asking for in the contract during the negotiations? Will the UPS strike put fear in our union to get us the best contract? I really hope so. I really hope so. Seeing how other delivery jobs like FedEx and UPS, seeing how they're negotiating stuff to get them. I'm pretty sure, don't quote me on this, but I'm pretty sure like they agreed on like the air conditioning and all the other stuff that's it doesn't have to do with like wages and stuff. I think that's the only thing they got to worry about is the wages to agree on. So I really hope that that gives our union inspiration to say, hey, we want more pay, we want all this other benefits that like see UPS is doing that for their workers. Why can't we do it for us? So I really hope so, but we'll never know until they release that information. Other offices are taking carriers transfers. Oh, like like carriers, like when we take in a transfer, I'm pretty sure we have to convert. I think that's the rule. If we take in a transfer regular, they have to convert 4 CCAs to regular. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure that's the rule if they take in transfers. But I think every 4th turnover they could take in a transfer. Oh wait. Did you see that UPS apparently agreed to eliminate their version of Tier 2 pay and getting rid of their 22-4 drivers? I did not see that. Please give me more information about that. I didn't see that. Do you know how much USPS mail carriers or auto tech mechanic get paid starting out, and is it full time? So I'm not sure about the auto tech mechanics, but as far as a USPS mail carrier, say your CCA, I'm pretty sure you start out $19.33, but obviously this job is not for that starting pay. It's about the overtime. It's about the penalty, which, double that. In my first year, I doubled my base salary. And then after that, I made a little under 80,000. This year, I'm going to make close to 80,000. So this job is all about the overtime. If you don't make the overtime, you're not going to make nothing. It's going to be basically, I might as well, if I wasn't making the overtime that I was working right now, if I wasn't making that overtime, I'd just go back working security, honestly, because, I can make tip money and stuff. But with that overtime, it allows me to make, double what my base salary is. So you start off at like 19.33, but you go up over time. Like before the last contract, I started off at 17.29 an hour, and now I'm at 22.13. And, that's close to $5 an hour in just 2.5 years. So, we're constantly going to be going up. And then top pays 35 if you're T6, 36. So, we have a pay scale. Obviously, UPS gets to their top pay sooner. I think it's 4 years. But, after 10, 12 years, we get to that top pay and, we'll be sitting pretty. So, and it's just going to keep going up. Like we're going to keep having negotiations. We're going to keep, having cost of living adjustments and things like that. So we're constantly going to be going up. Supervisor makes me double case a lot. Yeah, supervisors will make you double case if, like, let's say, like I'm on my hold down I was on for almost 2 years, 31. They have me double casing that a lot because they know I'll case stuff faster than anybody else. So, the more routes the more versatile you are, the more they're going to have you double casing routes. I'd rather carry extra though. Yeah, same here. I'd rather get my overtime on the street. I hate double casings. Casing's the worst. Then you have to case up another route for somebody. And especially if you got to break it up, 3 ways. Now you got to like see, make sure you don't give somebody too much and things like that. Can I tell my supervisor if I can carry extra rather than double case? I mean, it wouldn't hurt to ask. I would say, hey, can I, because if you're a good caser, they're going to use you casing. So they must think that you're more of a better caser than a carrier. So, but for me, I'm always like, hey, let me do my overtime on the street. So, it doesn't hurt to ask, but, they might use that against you too. If you're like, hey, I hate casing. And then they're like, then let's say you call off or something. The next day they're going to be like, hey, double case. Cause they, kind of like, punishment. So, but it doesn't hurt to ask. What's going on? I went to an office and the postmaster asked me to transfer. She convinced others looking for hours to secretly transfer. Oh, I didn't know that that's what that meant. I've had when I've helped out other offices, the postmasters try to get me to transfer over there too. But yeah, that's I find that pretty common, because anybody who shows up to work, if they see you're like somewhat capable of doing the job, they're like, okay, I want this carrier in my office, because the carriers in my office call off. They'll drop routes and things like that. So if you're somewhat capable of the job, if you're like somewhat adequate, they're gonna be like, okay, that postmaster's gonna want you. So basically every office I've helped out, at least 10 offices in my district at least, and every one has wanted me at their office. So it's pretty common. I'm transferring from MHA to CCA, and I have heard so many horror stories about management. How do you deal with management? Yeah, every job I've had, the management has been not ideal. That's when I was a produce manager. I remember we called management training asshole training. So, the best thing is being a carrier. You're mostly on the street, right? So you're not really dealing with management. And cell phone is not the right way of communication. Make sure they're hitting you up on the scanner. But in my experience, if I've had to walk away from my postmaster a few times. You got to be, you don't say anything that, you might regret later. But how I deal with management is just, I come to work, do my job. I don't like to BS in the office. I like to make sure I hit the street as quickly as possible. I do my job. I don't do anything that, I stay under the radar. But yeah, one of the main reasons why people quit is management. But everywhere, every office, you're gonna find that, and it's just, you gotta. I try to limit my interactions with management. I come to work. I case up my route. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to do, and then I hit the street, and then make sure I hit my times and all that. So. But the one positive about being a carrier is that you're on the street most of the time. If you're in the office, you're seeing management for 10, 12 hours a day, or whatever the case may be. So that's one positive. Like, I don't have somebody looking over my shoulder all the time, unless you're being followed or whatever. But that only happens like if they see you on the scanner, you're going like, if you're going to like if you're just BSing on the route, then they're gonna be like, okay, we gotta see what you're doing on the street. But yeah, the one positive about being a carrier is that you're always on the street, and for the most part, and not dealing with management as much. I work 56 hours as a custodian every week. That overtime is where you really make the money. 100%. And I heard that the custodian job is like the chillest gig in the post office. But yeah, the overtime is where we make our money. If I was working 40 hours a week here, I would be like, shit, like I need a second job, like ASAP. So as long as I get my minimum 55 hours, I'm good. Even if I worked 5 hours or 5 days last week, or last week or 2 weeks ago, where we had the holiday, I still got 52 hours, even working 5 days. So I'm like, okay, I could live with that. Yeah, as long as I get 6 days consistently, and I'm cool. I'm like, okay, I can't complain too much. As long as because I'm on pace to hit a little under 80,000 this year. If I get around that every year, I'm good. A custodian at my plant made 108K last year. Yeah, that's not uncommon. Our carriers on the overtime list, they make like 125K, so if you just, come to work and work that overtime and don't call off a lot, you're gonna make money. You're gonna make money. And if your office doesn't have a lot of hours, do investigating, see what offices around you do have hours. So that's what I would be doing. If I didn't get hours, I'd be like, Blue Island's always needing help. I'd love to get into that office and get consistent overtime, because I know nobody shows up there. So but yeah, I heard custodian's a really good job. It's very competitive. Like when there's an opening, like even carriers try to go to custodian. It's a very sought after job. Certifieds in the DPS pisses me off. Yeah, it's very inconvenient, because when you go to the accountable case, you can grab them and know where your accountables are. But then, like you're doing a relay, then all of a sudden you have a certified, and I was told we got to bring them back. Don't scan them when they come in the DPS. Make sure to bring them back. Bring them back to the office. But yeah, it kind of frustrates me too. Hope our bathrooms are cleaner. Yeah, yeah. Now my office won't let me go without permission. All I wanted to the hours. Yeah, you can't just you have to ask your management permission to go help out other offices. You can't just like under the radar say, hey, hit up a postmaster, your sister office and say, hey, could I work, without getting the okay from your postmaster. That's a very easy way to get in trouble. And then obviously have that shut down where they're helping you. You gotta communicate with your management too, or else they're gonna be really pissed off. Big T, how are the custodians getting all that overtime? Well, there's a lot of yeah, obviously not clean bathrooms, but there was more to that. Honestly, it depends on your plant and budget, and you'd be surprised. A lot of people in maintenance don't work overtime as much. Yeah, it depends on the office. Same thing with carriers. If one office might be getting a lot of hours, another office might be getting no hours. So it just depends on, the work to be done, and if people show up, and how dirty certain plants are and things like that. What's going on, Brandon? Passed my driver's course academy the following week due to the 4th hitting on Tuesday. Thanks again for all your videos, man. I appreciate the support. Yeah, the driving course, it is a little you get a little anxious at first, but once you start driving every day, it gets easier. Yeah, academy. Once you get to academy, I had a few people ask me like, hey, when should I give him my 2 weeks and things like that? Definitely when when academy is, because that next week you're going to be working at your office and starting to work. But yeah, just keep learning one day at a time, and it'll get easier. Don't give up on yourself so early. The job is overwhelming at first, but once you start learning how the job works, and having carriers help you as well, like that, things will start to get easier. Just don't panic. Just take it one day at a time. You'll be good. You working tomorrow, Nick? Yeah, I'm scheduled tomorrow. A lot of carriers are forced in tomorrow. We want to make, like, my management, like the day before a holiday, my management always makes sure like carriers are forced in, everything's covered, so we all have good days. Obviously, it doesn't always work out like that, but that's what they try to do. Make sure everybody's in, make sure the aux routes are covered, make sure everything's covered. And then, everyone has a good day. And then going into the holiday, I'm off the 4th. Even my brother, who's an ARC, he's off the 4th of July. So we come in at 6th, July 5th, and it's going to be a shit show. Obviously, no packages being delivered on the 4th. So it's going to be it's going to be a doozy. How about you, Michael? Do you work tomorrow? Do you drive the newer mail vans that look like the old one, but an updated design? You mean the Metris? I wonder if they have air conditioning. If you're talking about the Metris, I rarely drive those. I've driven it twice. The one time I did deliver in it, tires were flat. What's nice is that it shows you like the tire pressure in there too. I'm like, holy shit, like the rear left side, the tire's like very low tire pressure. So it's like a modern version of the LOV, but there's not a lot of room for packages up front. So that's one thing I don't like about it, but it's new. It has a lot of like the rear view camera and stuff like that, a lot of like modern technologies in it. So it is kind of nice, but at the same time, with delivering mail and stuff, I'd prefer a regular LLV. But yeah, I think you're talking about the Metris. For the hold down I have right now, I drive the ProMaster, which is the big minivan, the Dodge. I prefer the LOV, even though right now it's hot and the ProMaster has air conditioning. I still prefer delivering the LOV. It's so much more convenient. I was on City 8 this weekend and it has an LOV, so it's just so much more efficient, the LOV. And now tomorrow I'll be back on City 18, so I'll be back in the ProMaster. Been a regular for about a month now. It's been great. 2 years and 3 months in as a carrier. Okay, so you're around the same time as me. Hope you're doing great, Nick. I've been following you for a while. I appreciate that, Kevin. I appreciate the support. Congrats on being a regular. got all the benefits. You'll get holiday pay and all that. So, good stuff. And I appreciate the support. Everyone in this chat, I really appreciate you guys tuning in to, asking me questions and, supporting the channel. It means a lot to me. Just finished a 10-hour Amazon Sunday, easy money. Yeah, Jason, 100%. If one of my days was Amazon Sunday, it would be, just cake. When I was working Sundays, it felt like a day off. Because I would have a day off during the week, and then Sunday would be easy money, easy money. Because when you eliminate the mail and it's just packages, it's super easy, super easy. So 10 hours, 2 hours of OT, like, let's get it. Get that money, Jason. What's going on, Carrie? How was your weekend? What breed is your dog? She's a Shih Tzu Poodle. I've had her since I was a junior in high school. So she's 12 years old. She's my little baby. She's Shih Tzu Poodle. How long have you had her? Are you still fighting? I'm not fighting anymore, unfortunately. When I do something, I like to put my all into it, like, because if I were to take a fight or something, I would have to dedicate, working out like twice a day, and I just don't have the time for that no more. I still stay in shape. I still eat right. I still take my disciplines to here. Like, I put my all to the post office, and paying for my condo and things like that. I put my all to that. Because I'm close to 30 now. I shouldn't be fighting anymore, but I still like to train. I still like to train jiu-jitsu, wrestling specifically, some boxing, but I do miss it at times. Like, I posted the other day, like, I had a memory come up when I was working at the nightclub as a bouncer, and like, I missed the adrenaline rush, just like the getting ready for war, getting ready for a fight, and or getting ready for like some crazy shit happening at the club, like that type of stuff. I do miss that, but I have bigger fish to fry on my plate. Adult stuff, paying off my condo, and making money, and this YouTube channel too. So, but I do miss fighting. Also, you're watching the Volk fight on Saturday. Hell yeah, that's gonna be a nice card. A lot of good fights on that card. I can't wait for that fight. But I'll be watching for sure. Hopefully, it's a later in the day fight, because the last fight they had, Ilya versus Emmett, it was like early. I was still at work. I was pissed, but it is what it is. Hopefully, it's later in the day. I was the only one who passed and felt like it was a breeze. Are you talking about the driving course? The people failed the driving course. Like, when I started, they said only one girl failed, and that was because they thought she was on drugs. That's crazy that people failed. The other 4 got overwhelmed and frustrated and quit. They probably didn't see my videos about it. I was the only one who took the instructor on the street. That's crazy. I never heard of that happening. It's literally just a driving course. Like, you're not even on the actual street. You're in a parking lot. Like, it's not that overwhelming. They tell you everything you need to know, unless your instructors were different. Even mine was like an asshole, So, yeah, that's strange that they got overwhelmed. I'm glad they didn't find that out at their office. If they got overwhelmed by the driving course, like, they would have got hit like a brick wall at their office. That's crazy. Evening, Nick. What's going on, Chai? Chicago in the building. Hopefully you're blue or yellow like me and have tomorrow off. We don't do colors. We do letters, like A, B, C. But I'm not a regular, so like my only off day is Sunday. But yes, I know some offices do colors. We do letters, like letter A, B, C, D, and E. But yeah, I don't even worry about that, because my only off day is Sunday. I work Monday through Saturday, regardless of that. Unless it's a holiday like 4th of July, I'm off the 4th of July. But yeah, enjoy your day off. Can you explain what the driving course consists of? It's basically like they tell you everything, like every part of the LOV. They show you like the emergency brake, what mirrors to look out of. They show you how to park in different scenarios, parallel park, backing in. They show you how to deliver to mailboxes, curbside, like how to deliver mailboxes to mailboxes. And, they tell you like step by step. It's like common sense stuff. You just got to listen and, you know, put into action. They give you some time to, you know, practice on your own as well. And then when you hit the street, this is how it was in Chicago. This is how it was in Chicago. They, you know, we just drove down the streets. Once we hit the street with the instructor, we just drove on the main streets for like, what was it, 45 minutes to an hour, and just showed that we were competent, like, you know, making turns and, you know, switching lanes and things like that. It's all common sense stuff. If you could drive your car, you could drive an LOV. It's the same thing. Slap that like button. I appreciate that, Carrie. Don't treat me like a 204B over here, guys. Appreciate that, Carrie. 8 hours, fellas. Hey, it's going on. Never 8 hours over here. Never 8 hours. Definitely not on fucking Wednesday. Definitely not 8 hours that day. Also, they give a lot of overtime money, so they don't have to pay it out at the end of the year. Yeah. I would always milk Sundays so they couldn't work me as hard for the rest of the week. Try to get as close to 56 hours as soon as I could before Friday. Yeah, 100%. You know, 56 hours after that, you know, it's overtime no matter what. They try to keep us under that. But last week I went over because you know, like I said, I don't say no to overtime. So, but Sundays are super easy, and yeah, just take your time on Sundays. It's you know, it's just easy money. Drop and go, drop and go. It's super easy. I don't do Sundays no more, but if I did, it would feel like a day off to me. Do they fire people on probation very easily still, or are they not as crazy about that anymore? Connor, I never, you see, they, in my office, they do not fire people. There was one, I think there was a clerk who came with the USPS t-shirt, something like that. I think she got fired, but they do not fire people. If you show up to work, just be somewhat competent. Just, you know, show a little bit of improvement every day. Don't come with a bad attitude. And they don't fire people. Even then, like they don't fire people. They need carriers. They spend money on you to go to academy. They spend money on you to go to orientation. They spend money to get you trained, all your equipment, things like that. So they don't want you to quit. They don't want to fire you. They want you to succeed. And you know, we need help. At least where I'm at, the Chicagoland area, like every office that I've been to usually like is desperate for help. So as long as you show up and, you know, you'll be good. Like, don't worry about getting fired unless you're doing something stupid like that video I made of the guy like shipping weed through the post office. Like, if you do that type of shit, like if you know, do anything illegal, then yeah, like that's different. But for the most part, if you just show up, you know, our union is good. They're not going to get rid of you during probation. I wouldn't worry about it, Connor. I would not worry about it. Happy 4th, brother. Yeah, happy 4th of July. Happy 4th of July from NALC Branch 34, Boston. Boston in the house, going on. Appreciate the support. I just got out of academy. I return on Thursday. Okay, so you started your office on Thursday with on-the-job instructor. Yeah, just take it a day at a time. And congratulations on finishing academy. And now the real learning begins at your office. The driving test isn't bad. Just pay attention. Don't mess up when they shadow follow you for the actual test. Yeah, 100%. Just, you know, all you got to do is listen. Like, even like I told you guys before, like my instructor was an asshole. And he said, like, if I have to get out of my car twice, because it was during the pandemic, you know, COVID was big and rampant. Like, he said, if I get out of my, because I had to follow him in the LOV. Like, I was in an LOV and he was in like the white car or whatever. He's like, if I have to get out of my car twice, you fail. And then literally as I turn out of the, you know, the station, he's like, he stops, he pulls over. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Like, he comes out and he's like, don't make me get out again. And I'm like, I think he just did that to screw with me, because after that it was all fine. But yeah, so I'm sure your instructor will be a lot better than mine. Yeah, and it's not bad at all. Why are certified letters coming to DPS? You know what? I'm not sure. I heard that clerks are filing grievances for that. And we also have clerks filing grievances to our ARCs for doing packages and stuff like that. But Yeah, I'm not sure why it's coming in DPS. I don't know. It F's me up on a walking route. It really does, because then you know, you don't see it, then like you see certified. I'm like, dang, and then it does like mess up your rhythm and stuff like that. When you grab it from the accountable table, you know what you're like, okay, I got one for this street, so I'm prepared for it and things like that. So yeah, it definitely messes up your flow and rhythm. My instructor for LLV Pro Master and 2-ton would just make me drive them to McDonald's, and I passed easily. Did you go? Where did you go to? Your did you go to Bedford? Did you go? Where did you go for your training? The "Don't treat me like a 204, be over here" line always makes me laugh. I appreciate that. I said it once, and I'm like, okay, that's gonna be my phrase, and it also gets me a lot of likes. Anytime I say it in a video, the likes go up. So that's it's been my catchphrase, and I'm gonna keep it like that. But I appreciate the support, and yeah. Hi Nick, what's going on, Tammy? Seen you once before on here. Yeah, I appreciate the support, Tammy. Appreciate the support. I'll be the shortest lived CCA in history, putting me through orientation and leaving me to cool my heels for 3 weeks. At least we'll do that. I might have liked it. Oh, did you end up not taking the position then? I'm sorry to hear that. I just left Amazon last week. I felt they worked us too hard for the amount of pay we got. Yeah, see, the thing with the Amazon, they have like these party buses. Like they got all this money for like nice vehicles and stuff like that, but then, Amazon drivers aren't getting paid that much. So you'll get way more money over here. Like I said, I'm on pace to hit 80,000 this year. It's a good job. It's a good stable job, and not to mention the money I'm putting in my retirement and money I'm getting from my pension and things like that. Everything is way better over here. And if not USPS, UPS is also a really good option too. Yeah, we don't fire people in Boston area. Just don't steal or crash LLV. 100%. Even then, people who've gotten in accidents in LLV, they still have jobs. So there was one carrier who he had his LLV parked on a busy street, and someone rear-ended him. Like, luckily he wasn't in the LLV, because the whole back end of the LLV was caved in. So, but obviously it wasn't his fault. And yeah, I think if as long as like you were in the right, like nothing, you weren't in the wrong, then you'll be fine. But yeah, they don't fire people. Just stay safe and keep it professional at work. Just got my career employee in the mail. Awesome, Fernando. Awesome. Are you PTF or regular? How long did it take till it became official? I got my break-in service in a couple weeks. I made plans around that week. It took me to become official. It took me over a month and 3 days to get to be officially a PTF. It's the start of the third full pay period. You'll be after your break in service, you'll be a career employee. So I'm guessing you're talking about PTF. But yeah, for the break in service, it's 5 days before your start date. So mine was December 26th. My break in service was the 21st through 25th. Came back 26th. So I appreciate your insight, though. Yeah, no problem, Jason. I'm sorry it didn't work out for you. Maybe try UPS. They also have a really good, they got union, they got good pay, and you don't got to deal with mail. You just got to deal with packages. So maybe give UPS a try if you're still looking. Yeah, unfortunately, the USPS hiring process is really outdated, and they really should revamp it somehow. But yeah, that's unfortunate. Yes, thank you. Palatine. Oh, okay. There was a wrestling tournament in Palatine I'd always go to in high school. But yeah, that's more of the nicer area. That's a nicer area. Are you union steward? No, I tried. I actually tried, and I ended up stepping down because I didn't really get much help. None of the regulars stepped up and helped me because we needed 2 union reps, and it was just me. And yeah, if somebody else would have helped me step up, one of the regulars, I would have stuck with it. But it just felt like a losing battle. So I still keep up with my union. I'm in like the union Facebook page, the NALC, my branch. Make sure to keep up with them, because my higher up union, they're so helpful. They're so knowledgeable and stuff like that. So I always try to stay in contact with them. And but yeah, unfortunately, it didn't work out. What's going on? Patrick? I just got PTF career right off the street as a carrier. That's awesome, and I hope that becomes nationwide soon. The main thing I'm worried about is casing and keeping the mail organized. Any tips for that? See, the thing with casing is very hard to give advice on because if you don't know the case, it's going to be very difficult. You know, if you put me on a route that I don't know and start casing it up, if I don't know any of the streets or stuff, I'm gonna be, because like I'm like, oh, is this apartments or like it's gonna be confusing. So the best teacher is carrying these routes. Try to learn as many routes as you can, because if you see them on the street, you're gonna know which routes are like, oh, this part's in the beginning, this part's in the end, oh, this part's in the middle. I've done that before. So the best teacher is learning these routes on the street and carrying them. And keeping the mail organized. Rubber bands are like rubber bands. Always have rubber bands in your bag. Have them like rubber banding things keeps everything organized. Like when I'm on the street, I'll have like, let's say my forward cards, warning cards, vacation cards. I'll rubber band those. I'll rubber band my UBBM to make sure everything is organized. I'll rubber band sometimes if I have the time. I'll rubber band each relay in the DPS so I can just grab and go. But I try to hit the street as soon as possible, so I don't do that too much. But if I'm really like, okay, I got time, I'll do that real quick. Like if you have ad papers, rubber band each relay with the rubber band. Rubber bands are your friend. Just organize everything like that. But yeah, everybody has their own system. Everybody has their own way of doing things. Like I put my DPS case mail in third bundle a certain way, and someone might do it differently. But you'll figure out your own routine once you hit the street. But yeah, that's awesome. You're gonna be PTF right from the beginning. Palatine was LOV and Displays the others. Okay, yeah. I remember you saying you're more north, so those are like the nicer areas. They fire people where I work if you call off too much. Yeah, we would have nobody working in my office, but we only have 21 routes. Okay, so yeah, 21 routes, like they probably have enough people where like they could be more strict and more or less tolerant of BS. Like at my office, like we were desperate. We need people. So everybody counts for my driving test. They were cool with me. They were talking about movies and roll with me. That's awesome. And I hope everyone else has a similar experience as you, Shannon. And shout out to you. You're always, giving advice and commenting on my videos. I get a certified letters in DPS. I just deliver them and don't scan because I didn't sign out for them. Plus, I've been a regular on the route for 7 years, so I know they live there. Yeah, so if you know that they live there and things like that, but if you're on a route that you don't know, yeah, bring it back. But I bring them back because, you don't want to. You don't just bring them back. That's what my supervisor told me. Happy Sunday, Nick. Happy Sunday, Marissa. What do you do to beat the heat? I make sure I bring my water jug. I got a big ass water jug where I just fill it with like 2 trays of ice. I make sure, and people on my route, I'm lucky enough where people, give me a cold water on the route, Propel water, Gatorade. Someone gave me a frozen Gatorade the other day. I try staying hydrated is number one. If I somehow run out of liquids, I don't care. I'll run the next relay or two and then go to, the gas station, get vitamin water or something to, keep me hydrated. But that's the biggest thing, honestly. Cause, I'll make sure my shirt's like unbuttoned to get that breeze. If there's a nice breeze, maybe a wet towel. I don't usually bring a wet towel, but that helps people. There's a carrier with like a neck fan where she has it on her neck and it blows blow hair, because like the LOVs don't have air conditioning. That's the one negative. With no stationary events from management. With no stationary events from management. Yeah, like just make sure you're not stationary for longer than 10 minutes. Just make sure you stay moving. How do you avoid a tragedy like Eugene Gates? Yeah, rest in peace, Eugene Gates. Very unfortunate situation. Yeah, just you got to stay hydrated. The most important thing is staying hydrated, and this job is not worth your life. So if you feel like, oh shit, like I'm feeling dizzy, feeling lightheaded, you could always go get a drink and then explain it to management later. If like something like that happens, you can't explain it to management. So make sure you stay hydrated and be selfish. Think about yourself first. That's a very unfortunate situation. Rest in peace, Eugene. Yeah, very sad situation. I'm a nurse, but my ex works for the USPS, so know quite a bit about how it works. Oh, is that right, Tammy? I loved it. Well, I wasn't clicking. Hold on. I wasn't clicking on your comments. I love the tats. I appreciate that. I still got to get this. I got to get my this part of my arm touched up because it's still a little. You see a little skin, but everything else. Rock at Ink Dom Tattoo in Chicago, Randolph Street. He did most of my sleeve. I haven't got a tattoo since I moved, but I plan on getting this touched up. I appreciate that, Tammy. Patrick, becoming better at casing just happens with time. It really does. It's all about time. It's, you know, once you start learning the route, you'll know where everything is. Because, you know, when I started, I'm like, there's like 800 addresses. How the hell do you remember? But you'll get into a flow eventually. You'll be doing the same job 6 days a week. So once you start doing it more often, you're gonna be like that. Give yourself 6 months to a year. You'll be good. Trust me. Just it comes with time. Once you start repeating the same pull downs and over, it gets easier. Yeah, you're gonna be casing up, pulling down like every single day. So you're gonna have no choice but to get better at it. I'm a new CCA. I know we get 6 paid holidays. If we aren't scheduled to work, do we get regular pay and time and a half if work, or no work, no pay? Yeah, for those 6 holidays, you do get holiday pay. I think it depends on the size of the office how much hours you get. I think mine was like 6 hours holiday pay. But we didn't get time and a half for if we came in as a CCA, we didn't. And then as a PTF, I don't get no holidays paid. But yeah, those 6 holidays, I think it depends on the office, how much hours. Mine, I'm pretty sure it was 4 or 6 hours for the holiday pay. We are supposed to get 3 minutes per certified mail, so they're cutting our time all around. Oh, is that why they're doing that? Yeah, there's always something. I'll be a regular, probably ended up being a T6. Probably end up being a T6. If we become regular before our year is up, we don't get the break in service. Well, I'll take being a regular than the break in service any day, and then you'll just get vacation. So you know, hopefully you T6 get paid more than regulars, so hopefully you become a T6. That'd be cool. Keep me posted, bro. Keep me posted. Have you ever injured yourself on a route? I wouldn't say injured. I have rolled my ankle. I've, wore certain shoes that, screw up my knees. But I haven't actually gotten injured. Not yet. Knock on wood. I'm very blessed that I stay healthy. I make sure before I go to work, I'll be cooking my breakfast in the morning. I'll make sure as I'm like standing in front of the stove, I'll stretch my hamstrings. Those get super tight. I'll make sure to stretch. As I'm loading up my truck, I'll like stretch out my arms, my shoulder, especially because that's where I carry my bag. I try to, make sure I'm loose, make sure I'm warm, and make sure I'm, I prevent those injuries, because injuries happen when you're not stretched out. You're overexerting yourself and things like that. And I know my body really good, especially being in sports all my life, wrestling, football, MMA. Like I know my body, I know my limits, stuff like that. So I do not push them to where I'm going to get injured. So I make sure I, stretch and things like that. But injured, no, I have like injury where I haven't been like had to miss work type stuff. No, I haven't been injured. Rubber bands are your best friend. 100%. I always make sure after I take the rubber band off the case mail, when I'm on a relay, I'll put it in my bag, because you never know, like, oh, there's a dog that I don't know. I'm not bringing them their mail. They can come pick it up, or I'll bring it tomorrow. I rubber band it, bring it back. So rubber bands are super helpful on keeping things organized too, like keeping things together. Hey, Nick, officially done with training. Hey, you were Chicago, right? Yeah, officially done training in Chicago. First day on my own is tomorrow. I'm excited. That's awesome. Keep that same mentality. Don't get discouraged if you make some mistakes, because everybody here has made mistakes. So, take it a day at a time, and congrats, and hopefully for a long career. If you got any questions, just hit me up. People bang out at my office way too much. They think they're sticking it to management, but in reality, it hurts fellow. Yeah, I don't know why people don't think that. Like they're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna call off, but who has to do all that overtime? It's even some regulars aren't on the list. They get mandated to do somebody's overtime just because they were, a little petty and then call off and things like that. So, yeah, that 100%. But in reality, hurts fellow carriers since I know now get stuck with 3 forced hours OT to cover their route. 100%. Now instead of one person doing that route, now you got 2 or 3 people doing 2 or 3 hours of it. So yeah, a lot of people don't think that way. I wish I could wear a big dog bite suit as a mail carrier. Yeah, like I was just having this conversation the other day with the floater that's on 18 because I got bumped, and I was telling her like, hey, watch out, the house on this street, the dog is loose, came after me. I had to hit it with the mail. That route, there's a lot of just people don't keep their dogs on leashes. It's some people shouldn't have dogs. Having a dog requires like responsibility and the lady didn't even check to see if I was all right. The dog came running at me. And she's like, "Hey, come here." And like, she's not like, "Are you okay, mister?" Like, no, it was, didn't even care. Didn't even care. But yeah, I wish we had some sort of like dog protection because I get chased by dogs all the time, especially on City 18. That every relay, there's a dog warning in the scanner. There's dogs not on leashes. It's just neglect. Thanks for the insight. Do the scanners you use show each stop you have through the day? For example, if you have your cards rubber band, but they also have a package or a different type of mail. The scanners, if you scan them in the, like, let's say you do the low truck feature. If you scan it, then like it'll say what section it's in, if that's what you mean. But they also have a package or a different type of mail. No, like the scanner won't say like this house has a package and all this mail. Some people have like that informed delivery where it shows like what type of mail they're getting, but in our scanner it doesn't say like they're getting a Jets pizza piece of mail. So yeah, what's going on, Rick? What's going on? Tats are trendy among the young folks. Are you getting the sleeve on the other arm? No, just this arm. I like tattoos that I can cover with long sleeves. But yeah, I started getting into tattoos when I was fighting because I got the baby face. I needed something to, make me look a little intimidating at least, other than my height. Other than being 6'3", I didn't have. I have a baby face, so needed some of the tats, and I like the artistic. Like I didn't want one of those like $100 tattoos. I wanted to make sure like these were like legit. And like I said, Ink Dom in Chicago, Rock does a really good job. I got to hit him up soon. I got some ideas. Like I said, I got to fill this part of my arm. What's good, Nick? They just promoted 3 CCAs in my office to unassigned regular. You know why they did that? Because they did the same thing in my office where they converted 4 PTFs to unassigned regular. They skipped right over PTF. Yeah, that's lucky for them because now they get the holiday pay and things like that. Hopefully this next year I'm up. Hopefully, Michael, I'm hoping that for you. And hopefully me the same way. Hopefully I'm a regular right there with you. Hopefully soon. There are no time standards on the street. Do not let them bully you into running. It takes what it takes. 100%. That's my mindset the most of the time because they know, especially me, they know I'm not a bullshit carrier. I'm a hard worker and things like that. So if it takes me this long to do it, it was because I didn't bullshit. It was because it took that long. There's variables. There's customers asking you questions. There's traffic on the street. You gotta like take a hydrate break and there's so many factors that go in that they don't take into account by looking at the computer and statistics and all that stuff. There's different variables on the street that the computer doesn't show. It takes as long as it's going to take. 100%, Rick. 100%. Thanks. Appreciate the encouragement. 100%. That's why I do these videos. Everybody's going to succeed over here. How does annual leave work? Will you lose if you don't use it? Let's say you're a CCA, it will cash out during your break in service, so you won't lose it. It'll just cash out to you in one lump sum. as of right now, being a PTF, it just keeps accumulating as of right now. So right now I have 40 hours. I'll be able to bid on a vacation week. So I'm very excited about that. It'll probably be in August because that's the next opening. June and July, obviously it's July now, all filled up. Everybody loves taking vacation in the summer for some reason. I'd rather take it in the wintertime. I can't stand the snow, and I'd rather not drive to work in the snow. But yeah, I can't wait to take vacation. But yeah, if you're a CCA, your annual leave will keep accumulating until it cashes out at the end of the year for your break in service. What's the word on the UPS strike? I heard it's not happening now. They settled. Some got bit by a dog. Same got bit by a dog, and the owner and I got into a beautiful weather here in Colorado. Yeah, I think they agreed on all the stuff that wasn't about wages, like the air conditioning and things like that. They agreed on, but I'm not sure about the wages. If someone could correct me on that. And yeah, the owner, I do not blame the dogs one bit that are off leashes. The dog has an owner, and the owner is 100% responsible for that dog. I do not blame the dog one bit. If you do, oh, do you see Colorado? Do you see Trey Parker and Matt Stone? When I was younger, I was such a big South Park fan, and I guess they own like Casa Bonita, and they eliminated tips, and now they just start their waitresses and like stuff off at $30 an hour, which is kind of cool for them. Yeah, I want to visit Colorado eventually. If you do package look ahead in the scanner, you can see all the packages you have and where they go. Yeah, if you do the package look ahead, and they'll show you how many packages you have left. They'll show you, or if you go on like how I'm doing as well, you could see like how many times you backed up, hard brake, how like acceleration, things like that. It'll show you all those like statistics. Also shows if you missed any packages. Yeah, sometimes my scanner won't update, and it'll be like I still have 4 packages out. Sometimes it doesn't update. The Joy plans to eliminate 50,000 positions with this plan. I don't think carriers will be. I think the opposite actually, but will those spots come from? Mail handlers and clerks sounds steep. I thought that was I thought they were getting rid of like managers and stuff like that when he was eliminating positions. I could be wrong though. Starting orientation on the 15th. Yeah, good luck, Daniel. Easy money, easy money. Hello, how's it going? Oh, Mailman. It's going really good. How about you, Hawkeyes? It's going really good. Can you get fired? How you doing, Michael? Can you get fired eventually for taking too long to do a route? No. So you will not get fired unless you're doing something illegal. You're not going to get fired unless you're doing something illegal. Don't worry about getting fired. Just do the job as safely as you can. If it takes you longer, it takes you longer. Obviously, maybe if carriers keep constantly helping you, they're going to be pissed off. But for the most part, if you're new, they're going to understand. If you're doing a new route, they're going to understand. But if you're just bullshitting on the route and they know that you're always on your phone and stuff like that, carriers are going to hate you. But if you're putting in your like an honest effort, if you're working hard, they're not going to get fired. Or you're not going to get fired 100%. But the carriers are going to want to help you get better because you're the relief. You're the person who's going to do all the overtime, so the regulars don't have to. So I wouldn't worry about getting fired. I've been told several times, even by regulars, that the higher ups will give you hell if you even clock out a minute over your time. Yeah, they're always going to be mad. They're always going to be mad. Management, if you do a route in 8, they're going to be like, why don't you do it in 7? It's just how it is. I wouldn't worry about it. I wouldn't worry about it. Just do the job safely, and you'll be good. Trust me. Been working 2.5 years. I see nothing but maybe other offices are different, but my office is kind of chaotic and things like that. There's no I don't hear any talk about somebody being fired. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. How much does annually pay you if you take a day off? Is it 8 hours or just 6 hours? So you could put it in I call off on light blue, the ELRA, and I put 8 hours when I call off for annual leave. But depending on how many hours you have, if you want to do 6, you could do 6. How much trouble have you had driving those LOVs in the snow? They suck in the snow. They slide. When I first started, one of our carriers, when she was still training me, slid into a mailbox in the snow. That's why I'd rather take my vacation in the winter than the summer. you know, there's no snow in the summer. You know, the LOVs suck in the snow because they slide. You know, when you're in the parking lot, if it's not shoveled, it's gonna be very hard to back up and get out of the parking lot. If the streets aren't plowed, it's gonna be very hard to drive. So the snow is the worst. The winter time is the worst time to be a mail carrier. I hate the snow. I would love to go somewhere where it's sunny every day of the year. But I guess the winter makes you more appreciate the sunny days. Yeah, the wait time for Casa Bonita is insane right now. Gonna wait to go later when the hype dies down. Yeah, that's one place I want to go. Like me and my brother, like I said, we watched South Park every day when we were younger, and you know, we saw that episode with Casa Bonita, and I would love to travel to Colorado eventually. Once I start, like, I'm getting vacation time. Once I start getting this vacation time, and I'll be able to start like traveling to places I've wanted to travel to. I know I've had trouble. I know I've had troubles with them. I only drove them through 2 snowstorms and was frightening. It really is. You got to be super careful. There's like a gas station where like you're merging onto a main street and it's like you know, it goes down and it starts sliding. So you got to be really careful for that. It makes you second guess where you're gonna drive to, and you're like, oh, that hill's pretty steep. I'm not gonna risk it because if I press the brakes, I'm still sliding. I'm gonna, you know, hit somebody. So yeah, driving in the snow sucks, really does. Managers are also included, correct? Yeah, that's what I thought. Have you ever had the problem on Light Blue where it won't let you log on? It says unknown device location. Sometimes it happens. I just wait until like the next day to log in because, like I said, I check the Light Blue religiously. I check it religiously because, you know, I want to make sure I'm getting paid for the hours that I worked. You know, sometimes you're like, hey, I worked 10 hours. Why is it say only 9.5? And oh, they just didn't put my no lunch in. So, you know, I always check it. I check it every day. And sometimes it does have that issue where it says unknown device or location. And, you know, that's usually just like an error. I'll end up just trying the next day or even that night. The guy, how does the pay in Colorado compare to the cost of living? Yeah, I heard Colorado is one of the highest cost of living in the country. Very much so probably because of the, you know, all the mountains and stuff. Like I want to see the mountains for sure. My brother's really big on you know, going to see Colorado. Being a carrier seems so exhausting. My ex and I are from Waco, Texas. He would come home drenched in sweat. We are from Waco, Texas. Yeah, I heard Texas is really brutal in the summer. Yeah, definitely stay hydrated. It is exhausting, and I can't imagine those hot states because it gets hot here. It gets over 100 degrees, 100, 110. But yeah, I'm sure Texas is a whole different animal. He would come home drenched in sweat. Yeah, that sounds like me every day. I come home drenched, and I'm like, I got to. Luckily, I have more than one postal shirt because, you know, it gets stinky and sweaty like after one day of wearing it. How does loading the truck every day work with the casings? I know there are usually sections on your route. I think it's usually 6. Is that how it gets organized in the LOV? Well, I organize. For me, I organize kind of chaotically. I kind of just I put it in certain sections that I know where everything is because I've been doing it so long. But the LOVs have numbers on them if you wanted to go by section. But I just like I put like my first relay here, and then like 2nd through 3rd, and then 4th through 5th, and I organize it kind of like chaotically. But you were asking on the case. Yeah, so the case is different. It's not like by section, it's like by row. It goes from left to right. And I've done row routes too, where it goes by wing. So the other day I did a row route. It goes by wing, like the A wing, the B wing, and the C wing. And because those routes are smaller, you know, I've done it all as far as carrying. It's crazy, but yeah, you just do it by section. You know, the 6 sections, obviously the end of the route. So, yeah, they'll tell you all that in academy and stuff. Do they post your stationary times in your office, Nick? They posted like if someone misses a sampling request, or they'll post a lot of that stuff. I don't know about stationary events. I've heard my postmaster yelling at carriers, like, why was the scanner like stationary for like, a certain amount of time? And I try not to get into people's business. I just hear it because it was loud, but they do in mine, and some people are on there 10 times, sitting 10 to 15 to 20 minutes each. I don't think postmasters are allowed to post that list. I'm not sure contractually. I don't know if they can or not either, but I don't think they do. I don't think they post that specific in my office, but they have posted like, yeah, if you missed a sampling request, or they post our street times and stuff right next to the vacation list. So I don't think about stationary time. So that might be, that might be a grievance. I don't know. I like winter because I like winter better because I would have more energy. The summer dehydrates me faster. See, for me, it's the opposite. I have tons of energy in the summer because the sun's out. I'm, being out on the route, there's people about, and especially if you're doing the routes with like bars and stuff like that, it's like a party. So I got more energy. But in the wintertime, there's nobody on the street. The weather's bad, gets darker sooner. It drains my energy. It's like that seasonal depression for me in the winter. But I guess that's good. You prefer the winter better. By the way, in San Francisco, they often hire new carriers directly into regular positions. Benny's right away. I just subscribed. I appreciate this. I appreciate the support. Yeah, if you guys aren't subscribed, hit that subscribe button and get my daily updates and things like that. But yeah, some more offices, more and more offices are becoming those offices where they're hired straight to PTF, because they know, like, okay, we're hiring CCAs and they're quitting. All right, let's make them PTF. Oh, they see the benefits already. They see the higher pay. So that's what they should be doing. But yeah, I appreciate the support, Tammy. Yeah, the route I did during the winter, I had to walk up the hill to deliver packages that were drive offs because I didn't feel safe going uphill and downhill. Yeah, it's crazy with the driving in the snow and stuff. I hate the winter time, but that's when you get the most money, in the winter, because people call off, they have car issues and things like that. So yeah, there's good and bad with everything. I just try to look at the positive sides. When I'm in the winter time, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna make money. It gets dark anyway. What else am I gonna do? Let's go make some money. So anything to motivate myself. I'm about to get my first allowance. What do you recommend I get? If you're in a place where the weather gets super cold, 100% make sure you're prepared for the winter. Get a jacket, make sure you get pants. The pants rip pretty easily, especially on the pockets. Maybe get a pair of shorts for the summer. We probably only need 1 or 2 pairs of shorts. But make sure you get pants, make sure you get a jacket, make sure you get winter hat. Make sure just gloves too. Gloves. My uniform store has gloves. I'm actually supposed to be getting something in the mail for my uniform allowance, because career employees get like a card or something, and I haven't gotten it yet because I was supposed to get my allowance in May, and it's July, so I need my winter stuff. So I'm probably gonna be on my postmaster more about that, because I need more winter stuff, because winter is gonna be here before we know it. But yeah, make sure you prepared for the winter if you're somewhere cold. If you're somewhere warm, just get some t-shirts, get a hat, maybe a rain hat, and shorts. That's basically it. Hopefully I'm able to drive ProMasters in the snow. Those ProMasters are way better to drive in the snow, way better. And they got heat, good heat. They should be better in the snow, I would think. Yeah, I agree. Winter sucks. Yeah, the ProMasters way 100% better in the wintertime. 3 minutes, fellas, after 4, they ping you. 3 minutes of what? Staying still? I organize all my posts by block. Once I hit that block, I go through that tub, whichever block it is. For new CCAs, I would recommend accuracy first, and speed will come eventually. Yeah, don't worry about speed. Worry about learning the route, gaining your own system, because every carrier develops their own system. Like, say you do it all by block. If I do a route I don't know, I'll do everything, yeah, by the street. Like I'll put Oak Street, I'll put all those in one tub, or Maple Street, I'll put all those in one tub. So everything's organized. Tubs help make things, those postal tubs, those things are really good with the smaller packages. Bigger packages I kind of just put around that area, but you'll develop your own system. sup? Why or soup? Why were you stationary? Me, I was working. Did you see me stationary? Yeah, they like sometimes I've been questioned about being stationary, but I'm like I wasn't stationary. So maybe maybe they're just trying to keep you on your toes. Yeah, and so I've some carriers sometimes leave there's been times where I've left the scanner in my LOV and I must have taken it out when I was doing a package drop off, and then I'm on my next relay and I'm about to scan a package and I'm like, my scanner's in my truck, dang it. And then make sure to finish the relay in under 10 minutes. Sometimes not, but yeah, sometimes that happens, unfortunately. I drink 10 bottles of water in summer and never use bathrooms because I sweat it out. But winter, if I drink one bottle, I'm yeah, that's how it is. That's how it is. In the wintertime, I'll go through maybe 2 water bottles at the most. In the summer, I'll do that before my second relay. So it's definitely and yeah, you don't even have to go to the bathroom in the summer because you're sweating it all out. And plus you're like focused on delivering too. But yeah, in the wintertime, I can go from, deliver all day long. I could survive on 2 ice mountains, so it's definitely different. My pleasure. Subscribe, baby. Yeah, thank you. I appreciate that, Tammy. Just sitting here on break. I work second shift at a local hospital. Thank you for your service. Thank you for what do you do in the hospital? Are you a nurse? Or I carry a carrier who's the same size as me, retired, so they gave me all the uniform. Yeah, it's another thing too. If you know carriers in your office who you're kind of cool with, ask them, hey, do you have any extra pairs of shorts that you're not using, or do you got an extra pair of pants if you know that they're close to your size? So, I got shit in here. Like, if a carrier asks me they need something, I'll be like, hey, I got an extra vest I don't wear, so I got some pants that I don't wear. So ask carriers, they got a bunch of clothes. Yeah, we get a card with $599. Not sure why they don't make it an even 600. Yeah, that's crazy. But all the gear is expensive and cheaply made. Rain gear, the most money. Yeah, rain gear, winter gear, like a jacket will be like half that. If you buy like a winter jacket, it'll be half that. But yeah, that's good that $599 is more than the voucher I had as a CCA. Get shirts, pants, and shorts with your first allowance. Bring your own jacket for the winter because the winter stuff's expensive. Yeah, 100%. I bought like a lightweight jacket so I could layer up underneath. I would wear like 4 or 5 sweaters underneath my postal lightweight jacket because it was cheaper. So you got to do what you got to do, and yeah, you could always layer up if need be. What's the craziest story you've had while delivering mail if you want to share? There's a few that I can't share, but just yeah, not that I want to share. No, I can't share some things. But there's been some crazy incidents with customers and things like that. Like I said, I don't want to put that on the internet, but there's never, let's just say there's never a dull day with this job. There's never a dull day. But I wish maybe eventually, when I retire and stuff, I could eventually tell all these stories and things like that, because I think the reason why I lasted on YouTube so long, a lot of people, get fired or get in trouble for making YouTube videos or just videos on TikTok and all that stuff. So I think the reason why I've lasted so long is because, I keep it professional on here. I keep it, I try to keep it PG for the most part and keep it professional because I remember when I first started, there was one dude, I guess he would make like twerking videos on the clock at his office. And I'm thinking like, how is he not getting in trouble for that? But then eventually he had to take the videos down because management talked to him and said, hey, it's either your job or, the TikTok videos. And obviously he chose his job. So I think that's the reason why I lasted so long on here. You don't see too many like postal people on YouTube because, they end up, filming on the clock or something, then they end up getting in trouble. So, I try to, watch what I say on here. I try to make sure I, keep it professional so I'm not taken down because, that would suck if they say, hey, you can't make videos no more, which could happen. But, I try to limit that possibility of happening by being, you know, professional and being a certain way on here, carrying myself a certain way on here to make sure, you know, I bring you guys the information and things like that, and I don't get taken down. But you know, anything can happen. I try to limit that though. I feel like 3 days of on the job training will not be enough for me. Day 2 tomorrow. And you could do on the job training for a month and it won't be enough. So just know once you get by yourself, just you know, take it one day at a time. And you know, if you have any questions, feel free to message me, Timmy. Feel free to message me. But you learn most of your stuff. You learn most of what you need to know when you're by yourself, when you make those mistakes. So when you forget a package, when you forget to grab your case mail, you're going to make all these type of mistakes. I mean, that's the type of mistakes that I made. You know, maybe you'll be better than me, but I made a lot of mistakes when I was starting, and the only way I was able to learn from them was by making the mistakes in the first place. So I'm like, I'm not going to forget that again. I'm not going to do that again. So it'll come with time. But yeah, 3 days is definitely not enough. Definitely not enough. Damn, Nick, I want Sundays off. I'm going on my 3rd year. Hey, Amazon Prime coming up. Yeah, Prime Week is coming up. July, what is it? The middle of July? I'm sure if it's crazy and they expect it to be crazy, I'm sure they'll have me come in. But we'll see. Last Amazon Prime Week was hell because I came in at 6 in the morning to help the clerks organize the packages, and I didn't get out till, yeah, it was probably like 6. It was crazy. Nick, so is it better to get health benefits with USPS or the union as a regular? See, like I have carriers who told me they use the union insurance, health insurance, and they said that's pretty good. But I use the Blue Cross Blue Shield. But because I was told by a carrier, she helped me with picking, so she said that would probably be the best one for me, the Blue Cross Blue Shield. But I heard the union health insurance is also pretty good. So do your info on both, or when you get that booklet in the mail, do your research on both and see which one would be best for you. Because I was told that the Blue Cross Blue Shield would be better for me. But I heard that's also a good insurance to the union stuff. Twerking, you got gay guys. No, this wasn't my office. This was some dude. I was probably, but I was looking at the Facebook pages where they have the USPS Facebook pages, and he would always post his videos and stuff like that. And he said I had to take down my videos. Management told me, hey, it's either the job or the videos. So, but he was filming on the clock and stuff like that. Like, you know, I don't even risk that. I don't want to lose my job, have to pick between you two or my job, because it'd obviously be my job. So, I don't do I wouldn't do that type of shit anyway, like twerking, whatever. But yeah, just doing goofy shit. Cause like if you were an employer, right, and you see them stealing time on the clock, like doing like goofy shit like that, you know, you would be pissed off too. If you were like the, you know, higher ups of that company, you would be annoyed as well. But yeah, that I saw it on the Facebook groups. I didn't know the guy. I'm a nurse and assist surgeons during patient procedures, not emergency. It can be stressful at times. You have to be detail oriented, no doubt, no mistakes. Yeah, I'm sure. Like being a nurse, anything in that field is very like you gotta be on point. And I appreciate everything you guys do. Nick just treated me like a 204B, skipped over my post. What was your post? Michael, let me see. My bad, bro. My bad. Received the new career employee benefits handbook in the mail yesterday, but have not received an orientation email yet. Did fingerprints 3 weeks ago? Is it weird that I received the handbook already? No, it's not weird because you know, you'll probably get that before you hear back. It takes at least a month to hear back. So 3 weeks is you know, not enough time. They'll get back to you because they got back to me in a month. So you're right around there. You'll probably hear hear back from them. And yeah, sorry, I treat you like a 204B. Sorry about that, Michael. Sorry about that. I try to get to everybody's comments, but sometimes I click one and then I click it again and then I skip your comment. But I'm sorry about that. If the post office was smart, they would set you up with an on-job instructor that has residential, business, and apartments on the routes. That way you get a taste of it all. 100%. That's a really good a good point, because if you do a route, let's say it's because one of the routes that I started off on was a cupcake route. It was all apartments basically, and you know, they should start you off with the worst route in the office that has like the most, like our city 31 is like that. It has school, it has walking, it has cluster boxes mounted, a senior building. So yeah, they should start you off on the worst route and then, you know, work your way to the easy routes. Because, you know, when I started on city 17. That route is one of the most hated routes in the office. And then, you know, once I mastered that route, every other route felt easier to me. So yeah, 100%. July 11th and 12th for Prime Days. Oh, great. Got to mark that in the calendar and put like a skull and crossbones on those days. But that's going to be a money day. If they, you know, if I'm working those days, I'm ready. My pockets are ready. They did 2 Prime Days last year as if one wasn't enough. Yeah, you know, they'll eventually have, I thought it was a whole week where like they have like deals and stuff like that. But it felt like more than 2 days. The best thing to do, Timmy, is to figure out what works best for you and how you carry mail. Yeah, like I said, everybody has a different system. Everybody has a different way of doing things. So you just got to figure out what's comfortable for you. Even carrying the bag, some people carry it just like on the shoulder. I carry it crossbody just because that's more comfortable for me. Everybody does things differently. Everybody carries mail differently because of personal preference, but it all works the same. Yeah, as long as the mail gets delivered, that's all that matters. Everybody has different systems. Everybody has different ways of doing things. Just find what works best for you and stick with that. What's going on, Matt? Hey, Nick, just got off at 7 p.m. for Amazon, making that money. Yeah, make that money. I'm jealous. I wish I was making that money. But I was off today. I work tomorrow. Then I'm off with no holiday pay on the 4th. But the Mercedes vans suck more. Do they? Because they're like, as far as like, because they're newer, they're nicer. They got like I said, I had that flat tire on one, and it shows like the tire pressure and stuff like that. Even the ProMaster shows, you know, needs an oil change. But as far as like delivering mail, the LLV is top dog in my opinion. Thanks, Nick. Yeah, no problem, Michael. And sorry again about that. Nick, what's going on, Jordan? I think you're the first live YouTuber I've seen who reads every post. A real trooper, babe. Yeah, that's what you know, just because I have like a certain amount of followers or whatever doesn't mean I'm like I do these to answer you guys' questions. I don't come on here and like I honestly just for live streams, I don't really come on here like with something I'm gonna say. I'm gonna say this. I literally just wait for people to come in and I just respond to people's comments because, you know, I want everybody to make the money I'm making, and, you know, USPS is a good job, and you know, it's done so much for me, and you know, I want people their questions answered, and I wish I had this type of platform when I was starting. You know, when I was starting, I was making videos, but like obviously I didn't know what I know now and what I've experienced, and I had so much anxiety starting because I was only delivering pizzas. I was a bouncer at a nightclub. The nightclub closed down because of COVID. And I was just like stressing about money and things like that. I was having some personal, like, you know, personal issues and stuff like that. So I was very stressed about this job. I needed this job. And if, you know, if I had somebody who said, hey, it's going to be all right, and telling me what I'm telling you guys, don't stress about it, nobody gets fired and things like that, I would have been way calmer. But, you know, but I went through all that. Now I get to tell you guys and give you guys, you know, the information and what it's like to be a carrier. Because I don't know, like there's some things I don't know about, like, you know, mail handlers and stuff like that. Like that's not my expertise. Like I'm not a mail handler or a clerk, but, you know, I could tell you guys my perspective from a carrier and what I've experienced, things like that. And I think people find that very helpful. In case anybody doesn't know, not sure if all officers are the same, but if you make regular before the 2-year mark, you go through another 90-day probation. Yeah, I'm pretty sure you go through another probation because because for me, I got switched to PTF after 2 years, and they said they were going to do I had to do fingerprints again, but I never did that. So, you know, maybe it's just my office, but Yeah, I think you got to go through another probation period if you don't hit the 2-year mark. Nick, I'm making regular next month. Congratulations, Jordan. That's awesome. And half, they just did an inspection, and our aux route is becoming a real route, which is opening 2 new career spots, and I'm in line. I'm only 10 months in. That's awesome, and that's what everybody hopes for. You know, that's the thing with, like, let's say running your route and things like that. You want more routes, not less routes. If people are running their routes, if they're cutting corners and things like that, those routes can be added onto instead of cut and then make new routes. Like that aux route, if someone was running their route, maybe they got stuff, that aux route would have been added to their route instead of somebody did their route the proper way, and then now that their route, you know, their route got cut maybe and then put on that aux route. Now it's a full route. Now another person gets converted. So, but that's awesome to hear, Jordan. Very awesome. Wednesday is going to be rough. 100% it's going to be rough, but let's make that money. I'm going to try to lay low on Tuesday, know that I have a long day on Wednesday, and yeah, let's just get that money. We know we're all about that money over here. Looking like UPS is going to strike. This will be like Christmas for us, and the post office should make lots of money, which is good for us during our contract negotiations. Bring it on, baby. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they agreed on the, air conditioning and all those, but wages I don't think they agreed on yet. So we'll see what happens. I got to keep up with the UPS, follow the Teamsters and stuff like that, because that affects us too. If you make regular before the 2-year mark, you have to go to, or did I read that comment? The mattress AC blows like a leaf blower. The mattress, like I said, it's good because it's modern. It has a lot of modern conveniences on it. But as far as mail delivery, I really don't like it. The back, I don't really like it. But the LOV, even though it doesn't have really good heat, most of them don't have good heat anyway. There's a few that do, and then no AC. But as far as delivering mail, I'm so much more efficient in an LOV. It's way more efficient. UPS is trying to get $5 an hour raise off the bat, then $2 per hour for the next 5 years. The UPS guy on my route said the $5 right is guaranteed, but they working on the other raises right now. Oh, gee, like, see, UPS, their union is top notch, man. That's awesome. I wish we could get that. We'll see. Hopefully if we, in our negotiations, hopefully we get more pay. But we'll see what happens. I'm not holding my breath though on nothing. I just go to work, make my money, and that's that. Thank you, Nick. Happy 4th. Yeah, happy 4th to everybody. Hopefully you guys have a great 4th of July. Watch some fireworks. Make sure you don't drink too much. Drive safely. And we're living in a country where you have this opportunity where you could, work a federal job. You could put money towards your retirement, make a good hourly wage that goes up, get cost of living adjustments, and if you're a regular, have most holidays off. And yeah, very thankful for where we're at right now. You also donate some money to this man, Nick. I will next time I see you. I appreciate that, Tammy. You don't have to do that, but everything is appreciated. I appreciate that. Tomorrow is going to be rough. I know our office takes everything day before holidays, so be prepared. Yeah, that's so they're probably gonna slam, because like sometimes Saturdays we'll have like no mail, but then all that mail will come on Monday, and I'm like, I'd rather have 2 average days than an easy day on Saturday and then a really hard day on Monday. So we'll just see how the mail volume is tomorrow. I'll get in there I'll go to work a little early, assess the situation, and because sometimes, if I come to work a little late, not late as far as like clocking in, but like I like to come in, I bolt to the, I sign the no lunch policy. I make sure I sign that because sometimes I forget and I'm like, dang, I didn't sign it. But luckily they know they usually see my name on it by now, where they're like, hey, Nick, did you take a lunch today? I'm like, oh, I forgot to sign it. Because every second on that clock, I'm getting paid. I don't want to have 30 minutes where I'm not getting paid. Even if I'm on a lunch, I want to get paid. If I'm stuck working, I want to get paid for every second, every click, every second I'm on that clock. Hit the thumbs up. I appreciate that. I appreciate that 100%. On your way in or out, everyone helps Nick out. It's the least we could do. I appreciate the support, everyone. 46 people in here currently. I appreciate you guys tuning into my live stream. Every Sunday I do these live streams. And sometimes during the week too, if I'm like, oh shit, I got like an hour or two, I could definitely do a live stream. But yeah, I try to do these when I can. And every Sunday, make sure you hit the notifications so you guys get notified when I'm live. And yeah, I'll answer you guys' questions, and yeah, we could chat it up. Tomorrow will be busy, so our ad papers are already laid out by the cases today. Already? Man, they oh yeah, that does make sense. If we get ad papers tomorrow, minimum 11-hour day tomorrow, minimum. But that'll be a good thing, more money. I'm a little terrified for July 5th. Oh, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, every day after a holiday is gonna be a shit show. You just gotta. There's been so many days after holidays where it's just been a shit show, but I embraced it. I'm like, let's get this money. Everybody's gonna struggle. Everybody's gonna be behind. So, you know, just take a deep breath. I'm learning to meditate. Like after this live stream, I'm gonna do some meditation, just like control my breathing and you know, relax a little bit, because I'm always like go go go. Sometimes I really need to you know, dial it back a little bit and you know, just take a breather. You know, like I said, I'm always go 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 a lot of the time, and a lot of that has to do with the job. But I'm just always like so energized and ready to go, and sometimes I need to dial it back a little bit. How often are the cost of living adjustments given out usually with the pay? CCAs don't get holiday pay, cost living adjustments, but once you make PTF, I think they're like once or twice a year. We just had one not too long ago. I appreciate that super chat. I appreciate it. It gets better once you make regular postal family. It really does. Like that's why being PTF right away would be such a big thing, because they get like, you feel like a regular almost. Obviously, you still get treated like a CCA, but you feel like a regular as far as like the federal benefits and things like that. It definitely does get better. I can't wait to make regular, and I'm so close too, because we have our city 56 retired, so our city 7 bid on 56, so that route's up. City 17, so that's 2. City 36 gonna be retiring, so that's 3. 39 still using his sick leave, but I'm pretty sure like his sick leave's gonna route soon, so that'll be 4. And I think our route 5, she got hit with an icicle before I even started, and I don't think she's coming back. She got converted. She hasn't been here since I started, so I think they're gonna be putting up her route, so that'd be 5, and I'm number 5. So I'm hoping after all the bidding's done, I should be a regular. So we'll see. Obviously, we'll keep you guys updated on that. But yeah, just going to work and not trying to stress about it too much, because I'll drive myself crazy. Have you ever received a donation on here? Yeah, I just did. Yeah, well, I just got one. Yeah, I appreciate that. We talk in the DMs all the time. He's a good guy. He delivers in the hood, and I can kind of relate to that. Once you carry a heavy DPS day, like after a holiday, then the rest of the week is easy because you're used to carrying more. Yeah, 100%. It sets the tone for the week. So let's say you got ad papers and a whole bunch of mail. The next day, you're going to have no run. You're like, everything just, you know, you fly through it. If we are forced bid, do we have to report to the route even though we are hold down? If we are forced bid, do we have to report? So if you're on a hold down, management can't take you off it unless it's the regular's day off. Then you get bumped, if that's what you mean. But if you're on a hold down and it's the regular's day to work, you're working that route. You're working that route. Red plums aren't as thick as they used to be. Before COVID, every red plum day before holiday papers would be thick as hell, so it'd always be worse, everyone. Yeah, it could always be worse, everyone. 100%, it could always be worse. Yeah, there's certain ad paper, like days when the ad papers are super thick, especially, yeah, certain holidays, because all the grocery stores have those crazy deals, so they're like thicker. But when they're thinner, they're not as bad because you could fit most of them in your bag. But yeah, when they're thick, it definitely makes, because you can't fit none of your packages in there, so you got to do a bunch of drop-offs. Oop. You get 2 weeks vacation once you flip over to regular. Then after 2 years, you'll get 4 weeks. Then we wait 10 years for 1 more week, which is weird. Yeah, I don't know why they do that. I deliver in the hood too. Yeah, like my office, the one town we do is you know, pretty hood. One of our carriers got shot at on that route, on our city 7. But then the route, the town where we live in, where I deliver and where I live in, it's a very like good school district, safe neighborhood. So you know, some officers are like that. You're like, oh, I'm going to this office, it's a good area, but then they're like in Indiana, what is it? They do like Maryville or something, but Maryville also does like Gary. So you never know what offices do certain areas. So, but I would never deliver in Gary, Indiana. Not without, you know, I would never deliver in Gary. That's a terrible area. A letter carrier in another station. He became a regular in 8 months. In his station, they don't have PTFs. They just go straight to regular. Is that possible? Yeah, it definitely is possible if they have people retiring and there's spots opening up. That's definitely possible. Very rare, but definitely possible. Oh my God, in the hood, yikes! Bring a can of spray, I guess. Yeah, it's like the other town that we deliver in. It's obviously there's worse towns here, especially here in Illinois. I'm like 30 minutes south of Chicago, the city. You know, the areas get worse as you go east. But it's not terrible, but obviously, like I said, one of our carriers got shot at over there, and you know, there's a lot of dogs out there, and you know, gang members that I knew from the club that live out there. So it's definitely not the best area. There's definitely worse, but you know, I like where I live. I like delivering out here because it's a safe area. I don't have to look, you know, over my shoulder 24/7. I still kind of do. I'm always just like cautious like that, but yeah, I like where I deliver in. I like where I live. It's safe. But yeah, I'm gonna end this live stream now. I've been going for an hour and a half. I appreciate all you guys for tuning in. Every Sunday, set your notifications on so you guys get notified when I'm going live. Sometimes I go live during the week. Catch my weekly videos. I'll try to make, you know, stay consistent with making videos. You know, sometimes, you know, I gotta have a personal life and things like that, but I try to stay on it. I try to stay on the YouTube grind and make sure give you guys the content, show you guys what I'm up to. And yeah, but thank you guys all for tuning in. Michael Jackson from Gary, Indiana. Yeah, I heard that. But yeah, Gary, Indiana is not a good area. It's not safe. And I know a few people who live out there, and it's not the best area. Always a pleasure, my friend. Yeah, thanks again for the super chat. We'll be talking to DMs. Thank you guys all for tuning in. Please like, share, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.